This is a working man's beer.
Yeah,
I have not seen that.
And I love that it said it. This beer can't be bought. I'm like, oh, I think I can buy it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You want to bet? It was like open bar, so I had a few drinks, a few more than I normally do. My body's not used to that.
I've been going for it lately.
I haven't. Like
I have.
I've had.
What's good, everybody? I'm Johnny Danger,
Jesse Wheeler,
and we are the Dangerous Dudes.
So, I'm guessing you saw the news about Gene Simmons canceling some tour dates. So when I saw the story, I of course read it. You know, everybody knows that I'm, as big a Kiss and Gene fan as there is.
Yeah. Badass, by the way.
I decided to, read further. I knew he was touring. It was something that I'd like to go see him solo. He's always done these solo things, kind of when Kiss would have breaks.
Gene Simmons band, right?
Yeah. I used to watch the Gene Simmons Family Jewels show.
Oh, okay.
And they would profile. Sometimes he would go on tour with that band. And so it's something I never seen, but I would definitely be interested in. So I started looking at tour dates, and I stumbled across this on his site, the Gene Simmons, ultimate Gene Simmons experience that you can pay. This is like one of these VIP, tour experiences, which I've done that with Kiss. It was worth every penny. This takes it to the next level. There's nothing more Gene Simmons than this idea. You will be Gene Simmons' personal assistant and band roadie for the day. So you can pay $12,495 and help the band load in. You get a bunch of t-shirts and pics and bullshit like that. But you will arrive at load in and help the band load in. You'll help the band set up the stage, hang out backstage, sit in on sound check. You get a set list. Whoop-de-doo. For $12,500, Gene basically, it's been widely publicized that it's been difficult for bands going on tour since COVID.
Yeah.
The cost of good roadies and good tour help has gone up a lot. That's why, Pearl Jam got a bunch of backlash for their ticket prices being so much.
The venue rentals are way up.
And, bands like Black Keys have canceled tours.
Yep. Because
the financial aspect of putting on a big tour is a lot different than it used to be, and finding good roadies and good tour help is expensive and difficult.
Yeah, there's a shortage.
So Gene's beating everybody. He's always been a revolutionary when it came to financial things. So you can pay him to be his roadie. What's more brilliant than that? It's amazing. And the next thing is you can pay Gene Simmons $5,000 to do his laundry or clean his bathroom.
What I'm wondering is, why the hell do we never think of that?
No kidding. That should be the next thing on the Danger Dogs page. Pay us, $50 and you can come carry our gear into the next gig
at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I would. That's real. Can't get anybody to do it for free at this point. So maybe if we started charging for it, it might come off as something that you actually want to do.
That's incredible. So you can be his personal assistant for $12,495
for one show. That's
for
it.
One gig.
Yeah, one gig, and then the next one, he's going to sell another one. Or you can pay $6,000 and get a free bass. Why? I don't understand why somebody would ever pay to actually. It sucks carrying gear.
Wait a minute. If you pay $6,000, you don't get a free bass. It costs $6,000.
Right, but that comes with it. You get to shake Gene's hand, and then you get an autographed bass. It's really a $500 bass.
You get to shake Gene Simmons' hand,
which I've done that before. I paid to do that, so I can't slight people for wanting to do that.
It's true. They say never meet your heroes, but maybe what they should throw in there is never pay your heroes.
Yeah, never pay your heroes to work for them.
And they're not stopping there. They have this new deal where you can buy a gold record. Did you see that?
I did. And they have
it's real gold.
The ultimate gold one that they have on the website is $50,000. It's
right.
Actual gold.
It's pure gold.
Right. Yeah.
And
You're
I
obviously
think
not playing it, but it's.
I think I saw a web show and they said that the actual gold, if you melted it down, would equate to about 24 grand. So they just doubled their,
Yeah.
and that's, I mean, that's basically what restaurants do when they sell you a beer.
Right.
By the way, I'm drinking Southern Tier from Lakewood, New York, just up the road.
I got a good old fashioned Heineken.
But they can get away with charging 50% markup. So I guess Kiss can too. But they have another one that's just $5,000. I think it's just gold plated.
Yeah, probably very little actual gold value.
But man, leave it to Kiss and Gene and those guys. And like now so his tour is canceled.
Well, some of the dates are canceled.
Not all of them?
No, he still has some dates on the calendar not canceled yet. Like the first early leg was canceled, or they're saying postponed. But
so if you're listening out there, there's still a chance
you can pay $12,500
and be Gene's
Gene load his gear,
personal assistant and roadie. Unbelievable!
Oh my god! Like I would love to be Gene's roadie for a day, but if he can pay me $12,500, I'm not paying him.
Now that would be nice.
I mean, it would be kind of fun to hang out backstage, but like, he's probably got a lot of heavy amps and stuff. Like, I'm not doing that. Like,
yeah, and where does the line get drawn with the personal assistant role?
Right.
Like, what does that really mean?
Right. I can only imagine with him. It's like, hey,
there might be some questionable stuff there.
Make me a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
and then go like,
well,
block the door while I
go unclog the toilet. Like, and think of all that gear that he wears.
I just did some damage in the bathroom. I need you to go in there and think
of all that hot and sweaty gear after the show.
Yeah.
Who gets to handle all of his gross, disgusting like linens and
yeah.
Is it you? Is that what you paid $12,495 for?
So an amazing interview would be to interview like the people that actually do that and be like, was it worth it? Or tell us the horror stories of what you had to do.
I just don't see a way that it would be. Unless you just really want to meet Gene Simmons that bad and you're willing to
do one of the regular meet and greets. Like, why would you pay to like carry the gear?
Well, because you'd be with him the whole time.
I guess. Yeah.
If you're his personal assistant.
I bet you he's really not that interesting to spend a bunch of time with.
He cracks a lot of dad jokes. And,
he does.
It's tons of sexual innuendo.
If you had the opportunity to have like a real conversation with him about like,
I don't know if anybody's ever had a real conversation. Yeah. I don't know if Shannon Tweed's ever had a real conversation with Gene.
I don't know what I would ask him if I had a chance to ask him one question. It would probably be like something totally random about, some Kiss collectible or something silly like that.
I will say, despite all this, I still love the guy.
Oh, me too.
Like, I hear stories about David Lee Roth being like the biggest dick ever backstage. And like Kenny Wayne Shepherd went on a tour with Van Halen. And he said during the entire tour, he never spoke to David Lee Roth once. Or David Lee Roth never spoke to him once. And then like when he would be going to the stage, his handlers would be yelling to everybody, including Kenny Wayne Shepherd, make way, don't talk to David while he's walking by to the stage.
It's so weird. Like, I mean,
and he's my guy. Like David Roth is one of my all-time heroes, and it doesn't surprise me.
Right.
But it is kind of disappointing that like I've heard great things about Eddie Van Halen being like the sweetest guy in the world.
I read nothing but great. I was just reading or watching a
Rest
video
in peace
about him, this guy that bought some cars from him, and the guy was dealing with his assistant at the time. He bought like a 56 Chevy.
Yes.
As when Eddie did, they had this brilliant idea of
they paired it with his guitar. Yeah, I saw that.
The same way. And the guy was like, I thought I would just deal with the assistant. They had him come to the property where 5150 is to go check out the cars, but he had no idea that Eddie was actually going to be there. So he brings him back to where the studio is because one of the cars was back by there. And this guy comes out with like a hat and like painter's clothes, and his hair was short. The guy didn't realize it was Eddie at first, and he just starts like shooting the shit with him. And then he realizes, oh my God, it's Eddie Van Halen. He said he was such a nice dude. Ended up buying like a big truck off the guy because he went to his like yard to see like the stuff he had to see his cars he was selling. And by all accounts, there are nothing but these stories about Eddie being this sweet guy. You sent me that one where the guy like got to live in the house for a period of time.
It's so great.
He's like a comedian.
Yeah.
Like getting out of a bad relationship, and went up there to hang out. And then Eddie was like, you can just live here.
He lived with them for 3 months.
Yeah.
Now that would be, not sleeping on a couch in a studio, but at a certain age, that would have been my dream.
Sleeping on the couch at 5150 while the like Van Halen, even it was with Hagar, like would have been. I mean, I can't think of something more. Like if you're at the point where you're homeless, like you have no place to stay, you're basically going to be crashing on friends' couches for a period of time. This guy's in LA, so like looking to not sleep on the street, and you end up crashing on a couch at 5150, like when the band. Like, come on. That's a pretty damn good, kind of like you go from like down and out to quickly like, well, I'm still on someone's couch, but like
it's Eddie Van Halen's
couch. Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be Mick Jagger's couch or something like, but like that's a pretty good, pretty quick, change of circumstances.
I bet you Mick Jagger's got a really nice couch. That would be a good crash.
I wanted to tell you about this amazing billboard that's on my way to work that I see every day. It's a Coors Banquet beer billboard, which is kind of I don't know if Coors is trying to bring that brand back to life, but they're spending money on big billboards. And so it says on the billboard something to the tune of, this beer isn't bought, it's earned. And it's got like a picture of like a guy who just like, made the bottle by hand, or just like got done pounding iron or worked, like
smelting
came
iron
from the bottom of a coal mine, clearly like workers' hands. And so I first saw it, and my first thought was, well, I kind of like.
I think you smell iron. We can
definitely.
We can do a search on that.
So it just brought. First of all, I like Coors Banquet beer.
You do?
It's a good beer. Remember that time we went to that game at Yankee Stadium with your dad?
Yeah.
We were like, the boys went, but your dad came with us. It was such an amazing time.
It was great.
I asked him, what do you want to drink? And this is a classic old guy thing, beer. Not like an IPA or nothing. He just says beer. So like,
hang on. Before you continue, one of my pet peeves is in movies or in shows, when somebody goes up to the bar to order something, like, then they'll go, what do you have? And they go, I'll have a beer.
Or give me a whiskey.
There's no world that exists that you walk up to a bar in real life and say, I want a beer.
Not anymore.
They're gonna be like, oh, okay.
Like there's 50 million types of beer.
Shit. So anyway.
But your dad is one of those like older guys, just like, just get me a beer. And if you ask them what kind, be like, I don't care. Get me a beer. And
cold.
Right. A cold one. And so that makes me think of Coors Banquet beer. That what does it taste like? It tastes like beer.
It does.
The beer that like our dads drank. Our dads like.
Pabst.
Before there was exactly PBR.
Sneaky good, by the way.
Amazing. Before, like, there was all these fancy IPAs and sours, and which I love those. I'm not making fun of those. I love them. But like that's a man's beer. So like that sign is just telling me basically like, this beer is not for you, fancy boy. Go walk right on by our beer the next time you're at the grocery store. Find yourself a fiddlehead, or find yourself some sort of like, fancy high ABV IPA. This is for guys who work with their hands, who
have a hard hat in the back of their truck.
It's not for you. We don't want your money. And that's the way. And I love driving by it because it's like, you know what? I'm going to buy it. Like, you can't stop me from buying your beer. I wanted to have some to drink on this, but I didn't have time to go get any.
I'm going to get I'll show you. I'm going to get a 30 rack.
Yeah, I'm going to get a 30 rack of that. That's all I'm going to drink. You guys can't tell me.
This ain't for you, fancy boy.
Right.
Head on home. Go throw on some Morrissey.
Right.
Put on some Capris, and grab your flower power, and have a sip with your buddies. Go get yourself
a high ABV, like juicy IPA, and get in the bathtub.
Light a candle. This is a working man's beer.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
And I loved it. It said it. This beer can't be bought. I'm like, oh, I think I can buy it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You want to bet?
I didn't earn shit.
Right.
All I did was whip out this piece of plastic, and it's mine.
Yeah. I
Joke's on you.
Right.
Coors.
All right. Thanks for watching. Go get yourself a Coors Banquet beer.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
We'll see you soon. If you're not in a semi truck, you can turn right on red. So if you're in a goddamn
it would be funny if it was meant for pickup trucks. It's like there's just random street signs that are only for pickup trucks, or like minivan. No turn on right minivan. It'll be like a DOT joke on minivan drivers.
If you're in a Toyota Prius, you can turn right on red.